Hello guys, my name is Lucas and I am here with my first ever review of this custom LAAT Republic Gunship. Before I go into detail about this custom build, I want to get the general information out there first. This is not my build. This was built by JBB777 on rebrickable.com. I will leave a link to the page in the description. It contains 1,409 parts, the majority of them being white. With the turret, it's about 39 centimeters long. The wingspan is a little bit over 30 centimeters. And it reaches 14 centimeters in height. Let's start here in the front. You can see that the turrets connect to the gunship in a different way than the LEGO sets does. Normally you would see a LEGO set connect with these bigger dome parts. But instead the designer has used a smaller steering ball joint, mostly because I think these would be way too big to use in the scale he's working with. If we remove some parts, we can kind of see how the ball joint connects to the body. Different from the LEGO set, we can also see that the turret is connected to the ball joint with a tire. It can move a little bit, but not as much as in the LEGO set gunship. Another thing to note is that these two mud guards are not connected with any kinds of studs or pins, but just with pressure and friction. But still they are sitting very tight and will not fall off easily. Right under the cockpit are these two hatches, which do open up like this. Let's see here. Unfortunately, as you can see, there's no interior inside, except a little hatch, gray hatch, which can be opened up to, like that. One thing you have to be careful with is using this hatch, because it's very fragile. It can easily break, as you can see, as it's just connected with this little gray hinge to the other section of the hatch. Moving even further back, here we have the main doors of the gunship. One thing that I really like that the designer decided to include are these small peek out windows, if you would call it that. And as on pretty much all the LEGO gunships you can find, the doors do open up. As you can see here, just like that. And like, let's see here. I would recommend to remove or pull out the smaller hatch or door first. It makes it a lot easier to get the big one out later. In this little bay we can also see how he gets the tilted angle of these two doors. And he's using these older Technic bushes which has these small teeths, which makes it able to connect and adjust to different angles. We can also see a small little control panel right in there, in the roof. Here we can also see how everything just connects perfectly. Closing the doors. Now we've come to one of my favorite features with this set, and it's actually a hidden feature. It's these small 4 barrels that can be pushed out just like that, and we have 2 more in here, and we can get 2 out, the other one out there. You can see we have these small 4 barrels that are kept in there with just friction. Here in the back we also have a small little storage compartment for guns or ammo or whatever you want to store. Here you can just see the angle of the back. Here we have some small little grill details just running down with another turret here in the back. Here in the back, or the underside of the back, is another example of how he's been able to capture all the different angles of the gunship and it's using these small ball joints that are connected to plates. There's also a movable hatch that can be folded down like that, and you can get a little bit of a view into the gunship. Moving on to the top, we can see these 4 missiles, which is also one of my favorite parts of this whole build. Moving on, we come to this area that may look like a hatch, but it's only there to fill in this part. Further down we have the 2 cockpits, which do fit a minifigure, just like that. And another one, just see, like that. As you can see, there are more details than you would expect in the cockpit. The designer has actually put effort and time into designing this. He's not just put a regular tile as the seat or anything like that. Like, he's actually designed these small little cockpits to make it as real as possible. The cockpits also have these small control panels here, and it may be hard to see, but small levers on the side that should be able to pop up, but I'm not gonna try that right now. The underside has some detail in the front, but otherwise it's just a plain gunship. Moving on to the last part of the ship that I haven't covered, we're now at the wings, and they are really connected to the body. I mean, the wings are really stuck to the main body. I mean, I can bang it and shake it and they won't fall off. They're really stuck there. Moving on to the engines, we can see that they're using these older engine pieces. Another thing that this gunship has, like the real gunship, is these dome glass parts on both sides of the wing, both on the upper part and the lower part. And if I remove these dome parts, you can see that there's this small little droid thing in there. I actually have no idea what it is, but it's just something. So let's talk about my building experience with this. First of all, you're gonna be building this in different sections. So like the wings are built in a section, this cockpit part is built in a section, these side panels are built in a section, this back part is built in a section. So nothing's a single build, it's all different parts that in the end you're putting together to make the whole gunship. Just seeing how everything lines up and fits together perfectly is an amazing experience and an amazing build. And I really admire the designer for even being able to design something that perfect. And it's not like he got an angle right, but the thing is not sturdy or not solid or anything like that, but he got everything to fit together perfectly and still being like this most sturdy build I've ever built. As you can see here, there is no gap between these wedge plates and the plates, but this section is still connected to the body with hinges and ball joints perfectly, so it's not gonna fall. Like, he's managed to capture this but still making it really sturdy and solid. So not just to build this and have this as a display set, just getting this, you'll learn a lot of new techniques and new things to experiment with from this build. Especially how you can make different angles just fit together. I would even consider this Lego quality. I mean, this is something that Lego actually could release and still meet the standards of a Lego set. The only thing that I'm not happy with, or a little bit unsatisfied with, when it comes to this build, is this little gap there, as you can see. That is created through it only being connected on the left side, which makes the right side very heavy and makes it tilt to that side. Now, if you want to build this yourself, you could probably get all the parts for $200, $250, which is a really good price for the product that you're getting. The most expensive parts you would have to buy are probably gonna be these 1x3 curved slopes. You might not be able to, but these kind of older slopes with studs on the side. But then you might ask, are there any parts that you can easily replace for another one? And I would say on the outside, no. Every part that's on this mock or custom build has been thought out very well and is there for a reason. When it comes to replace parts on the inside, there are one part that I think you could definitely replace for another one, and that is this one. It's like a small red tube that's supposed to be sitting, let's see here, in these holes to connect that part to this part, but that can easily be done with these Technic pins instead. I got a question asking if you could get many of the parts from the official Lego set, and I would say no. Most of the parts are not, you're not going to be able to get from the official Lego set. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.